big snook, giant snook. Oh my gosh. I have a weird obsession with fishing canals like this in Florida. They are so interesting to me because they shouldn't be here. And the reason they're here is actually kind of messed up. But they're now like a highway and ecosystem of life and interesting fishing and wildlife opportunities. If you know how to find the right ones, you could be miles and miles from the ocean and catch saltwater fish in them like snook and tarpon. And that's what we're trying to do today. We're going to ride the land skiff around, the old bicycle, and see what we can get into and see if we can go catch some big largemouth, some big snook or tarpon. And we're throwing big swim baits. Got a new reel, new baits. And we even have a sponsor for today's video for the first time in like 2 years. So I'm excited to get out and have an adventure. So let's go. So why are there so many canals in South Florida? Well, I'll try my best to summarize an extremely complicated and detailed problem as quickly as I can. Florida is wet and flat. The Everglades used to extend all the way from the headwaters of the Kissimmee, passed through Lake Okeechobee, then slowly flowed through a river that was 60 miles wide and 100 miles long that would eventually dump into Florida Bay. The whole time traveling that distance, it was being filtered and cleansed by different aquatic vegetation, and Florida at this time was particularly inhospitable due to the amount of water and often flooding. So, to remedy this and to make Florida a place that was livable, people started digging canals, and a lot of them. The canals redirected the flow of water and drained vast areas of wetlands, cutting the Everglades' original size in half. What was once wetland is now homes, agriculture fields, and miles upon miles of canals. Real quick before we get into the rest of the video, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Bespoke Post, who's making our adventure possible. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club that sends a box full of awesome goodies to your door every single month. 90% of the products come from small brands, many of which are based right here in the US. And it's free to join, and you can cancel anytime you want. Each month, the Bespoke Post introduces a ton of new stuff on the website, from kitchen gear to outdoors gear, stuff you could use to make drinks at the bar, and it's all based on your preferences with a test that you fill out. Most of the boxes are around $70 worth of value, but you only pay a fraction of that for the stuff that comes in them. You also get to preview the box before it shows up, so you can decide, hey, do I want the stuff in here? Do I want to exchange it for something else? Or do I just want to skip this month? So this is a really cool example of one of the boxes I got. This is the trail box. Now let me show you this. It came with a carrying case, in it a survival book that I'm very excited to read, a very, very slick knife right here with a gut hook on it, paracord, and then a saw for emergency sawing. One of the other boxes that got sent to me I was really excited about is the field kit box. It came with a folding saw for cutting branches, hand balm, which is great because I've been working out a ton again and absolutely ripping up my hands, and a slingshot that I'm very excited to give to my son. And it came with this container of seed pellets, and inside them are wildflowers. So when you shoot them, they biodegrade into wildflowers. How cool is that? So if you're interested in Bespoke Post and want to get 20% off on your first box of awesome, you can use code Lawson20 at the checkout. You can also click the link in the bio down below, or just go to www.bespokepost.com/Lawson20. Thank you for Bespoke Post being a quality company in sponsoring this video, and that's kind of the bar I want to set for going forward, is that we're going to bring sponsors into the channel again, but they're always going to be high quality companies that I have respect for, and Bespoke Post is one of them. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video and supporting the channel. Let's get back to our biking canal adventure. A little special treat for the boys before rolling out today. Picked up a new reel right there, Tranks 300. And this is gonna be a very, very sweet bait caster setup right here for snook fishing, basically anything big inshore and throwing big swim baits in fresh water for largemouth when the occasion arises. So we're gonna lace this up on the old G Loomis swim bait rod, the IMX Pro. All this stuff will be linked in the description below. And we are only throwing big swim baits today. There's two ways to catch big fish in difficult areas. You either throw something really, really finesse, or go the total opposite and throw something huge. And that's what we're doing today. We're throwing huge. One of the coolest parts about fishing for tarpon and snook in canals like this is the untraditional baits you can throw at them. When they travel up canal, their diet shifts from mullet, shrimp, and all other small saltwater bait fish to eating anything they can fit in their mouth in the fresh. In here, they are top dog, and they'll eat bluegill, cichlid, shiner, and even small largemouth bass. Anything is fair game, so it makes targeting them super fun. Here's an idea. Is it a good one? That yet is to be determined. We have a 7-inch shiner swim bait, or shad swim bait. I'm literally looking at multiple snook right now. Shiner deployed. Crab walk in, and we're gonna let this sink down. Oh, the snook already saw it. Oh, something already tried to eat it. Oh my God, a tarpon just folded in. Sorry. A tarpon just followed this thing in so hot. And there is so many snook right here. There's like 5 snook here. Dude, there's like 15 snook sitting here. What is happening? Yo, this is crazy. Oh, dude. That, I'm sitting there looking at like 25, 26 inch snook. Like 38 just came out from the culvert pipe and smoked this thing. And now my line through is stuck on here. That was a huge tarpon. All right, my line through is stuck on the lip of the culvert pipe. Out here, I feel conflicted. I enjoy my time spent along the canals immensely, and to see the way life has managed to adapt is astounding. It's also just straight up beautiful. And at the same time, I feel guilty for something that I didn't even do. To see how man has changed the Florida wetlands here permanently. The canals are like a giant prop scar across a pristine grass flat. I love being out here, and it makes access to wildlife and fish unbelievably easy. But I'm constantly reminded that this isn't how it's supposed to be. I think that was a tarpon right there. Oh, snook right there. Oh, he popped off. Oh man. That was like a 27, 28 inch snook. Just came out from inside the pipe and smoked this gantrel. All right, got the land skiff busted out. It's time to cover some ground. We have a bunch of different culvert pipes, spillways, water pumps that we're gonna be riding around looking for snook, tarpon, and largemouth bass on. I will say I am very, very ill right now. My wife and my 2 sons we've all been really sick for the past 4 or 5 days, and trying to sweat it out, man, and just get out here, enjoy some nature, and get some exercise and see if that helps smooth the sickness. So if you hear me coughing or whatever, I apologize. So, landscape time. Let's cover some ground. Riding my bike down the berm, just saw one of my favorite animals hidden in this little swamp area. We're gonna sneak up and see if we can film it. Whew. All right, biked a couple miles, made it to our next spot here. You can hear water running in the background. That's what we're looking for. So over here to my left, there is a natural area that fills up with water, and when it gets too high, the water pumps through into the canal. And that water movement is like a conveyor belt of bluegill and mosquito fish and all that stuff to the predators sitting on the other side. So we're gonna try to throw here a little bit. And I can see our spillway off yonder in the distance. Got the gantrel rigged up. Oh my God! That was a tarpon. That was aggressive. Okay, that's crazy. I threw a mullet pattern swim bait in there like 3 times in a row and never got touched. Threw that gantrel in there, first cast, and a tarpon from the underbelly. Holy smokes. That might have been like the hardest I've ever seen a fish try to eat something. Dude, that was crazy, man. The water is like 6 feet of visibility, and I literally never saw that fish until he hit it. Eats like that, or while we're out here, man, while we're riding our bike, you know, 10 plus miles, while we're casting big swim baits, it's for those moments like that, man. That was sweet. Dude. If that's a bass, it was enormous. If it was a snook, it was a good sized one. Big fish underneath it right now. Big largemouth. Followed that thing so hard. That's the way to do it. Oh, good Lord. That largemouth came out of nowhere. It's like a 3-pounder. It was like he tried to hit the gantrel, saw me at the same time, and kind of freaked out. First roadblock. That sign right there is gonna add about an extra 6 miles onto our ride. We gotta take the long way around. I guess a little extra exercise never killed anybody. Oh, a snook just came out and popped it. No way. Oh, no freaking way.
The past 3 days of trying to catch a giant out of this canal have been an absolute grind. I could throw smaller lures, but I know they most likely won't catch the quality of fish I'm targeting. Over the past 3 days, I've had over 15 snook and 5 tarpon follow in lures or even try to eat without having landed a single fish. When the fishing isn't going as planned, I always try to remind myself what a blessing it is even to be out here. With a body capable of traveling miles and putting in hard work and being surrounded by nature. Life's pretty good, and the fish will come.
It's funny, man. As I've gotten older, the more and more I enjoy combining fishing with some type of secondary activity like a hike or a bike ride or a paddle. Like, don't get me wrong, I love going out in the boat, but my favorite times to go out in the boat are when you go exploring a new area, you're sending it way back. That's why I've always loved the little micro skiff stuff, because it's so exploratory and it's just so much like adventure into it. I miss adventuring, man. You know, as you get older, get kids, get married, it gets harder and harder to drop everything that you own and go out on an adventure. So you gotta find micro ones through the day. The weather's amazing. It's the coldest day of the year so far, or in the past 5 months or whatever, and we're out riding bikes, trying to chase down some elusive fish in the canals, eating a good snack, getting some good exercise in. What's better than this?
To Despite the fishing being extremely disappointing, today was one of the most enjoyable days I've had outdoors in a long time. The weather was perfect. I rode over 18 miles on the bike and saw one of my dear friends who was out enjoying the perfect day as well.
Losing my hat on film?
I didn't, no.
Looking like a real dweeb.
There's a group of deer on the other side of the canal up here. Wind's in my favor right now. I want to see if I can sneak up on them and film them.
Even after a perfect evening, only one thing was on my mind. Catching one of the giants I know lurks in this canal. She's evaded me so far, but when chasing giant fish, it's all about persistence, staying focused.
Incredible day today. Just being outside wise. Fishing wise, not so much, but we'll lick them tomorrow. That'll be the plan.
Spillways, the fountain of life in these canals. They create current, oxygenate the water, and most importantly, act as a conveyor belt of bait. Snook, bass, and tarpon seek out the moving water for cooler temperatures, and they patiently wait in the current for any prey fish to get sucked through the current, hit the other side disoriented, and they go in and pick up an easy meal.
Beautiful spillway. Water flowing. We got a Gantro Junior on here. Big snook, giant snook. Oh my gosh. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna have to lighten up. I have 30-pound fluoro on. That is a giant on the Gantrel. Oh Lord. We have a task ahead of us now. That was a big fish. I got 30-pound fluoro on. Really wasn't expecting one this big. I'll be honest, but man, the Gantrel got him going. He is a big fish. Woo! I mean, big fish. Get off the rocks. It's just like wallowing on the rocks. Oh. Wow. So we have a ton of water dumping over from our left here, and a big snook sitting on this side who would have been ambushing bluegill, bass, any freshwater fish that he can fit in his mouth. And our Gantrel is just supposed to look like a nice fat bluegill. And what do you know, what do we have here? Gotta find a good footing here. We're gonna hop down one more level. A really good fish for where we're at, man. Spinning in the current a little bit. I guess a 30, 32 plus, maybe a 35, 36. Unbelievable. Got me scared a little bit, not gonna lie. Okay, head down. This is a giant. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Oh my goodness. Guys, we just got a giant. We just caught a freaking giant. Oh! That might be a 38, maybe 36. I'm doing something very risky here. I'll leave him right there so I can adjust my camera. Bail's open. I've put in a lot of man hours this past week for this fish right here. Absolute freshwater giant on the ganstrel hanging out of his mouth. Man, I have biked, I bet 40 miles, I've walked a ton, fished, 20 different spots, and to finally catch a giant, it's like the first fish I've caught all week. And there he is, man. That's why you put in the freaking hours. That's why you put in the miles. Oh, he just spined me good. Tell you what, he was not hooked all that crazy well. That, my friends, is a stud. Literally probably about a 37, 38 inch snook in the fresh. Ah! Oh. And the beautiful thing too, man, flowing water, good on the gills, good on the fish. And we've had him submerged right here in this little eddy this entire time. Look at that bite down. Look at that jump. That's a mega mouth right there, brother. That baby's eating largemouth bass. He's eating cichlids, brim, whatever he wants. Ooh, he's fired up. And he swam off good, most important part. He stuck me real good with one of his spines. Whew. Man, one fish. I'd have to look back at my watch and phone and see. I legitimately bet I've rode my bike close to 50 miles the past week fishing, and I've seen so many snook, so many tarpon, largemouth, that none of them have connected, and just it's been so close. And it finally happened right there on like my 5th cast. Unfreaking believable. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Woo! Today has been unreal. I am on my bike ride back 4 or 5 miles. I think I saw 17 deer, three of them being bucks. Most deer I've seen in a long time, man. It's just so good to get out in nature, exercise. You know what, man, the canals out here in Florida, they are what you make of them. They provide people like me and you and whoever is willing to get out there an amazing and easy way to get into nature and see some things, catch some fish, see some wildlife. And you know what, as much as they've messed up the natural state of Florida, I am grateful for them because I love being out here on them, man. This is a special, special night. Whew. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date for the next upload. Trying to work on some bigger and bigger projects here in the future. I appreciate you guys. Till next one, peace.